Hey guys, welcome to a very special edition of Weighintime. I'm Patrick, and on today's episode, I'm going to be answering your questions live in my living room. So I hope you're doing very, very well this evening. Now, I thought I would do it live because I've not actually done it live and I've really, really wanted to before. So this is an opportunity for you to ask me questions live as I am broadcasting onto the internet live. I'm very excited. So I'm going to start with some questions. Now I'm going to start with one from Suzanne One and Only. Now Suzanne One and Only is a regular viewer of this show, and she is a very, very good fan of the show, which is great. And she always makes sure she comments on my videos. So thank you very much, Suzanne. Now, the first question which they have asked, or she has asked, is how is your weight loss journey going? Well, I can tell you, regular viewers of the show will know that I have actually gone on a cruise recently. I've actually done a cruise where I have eaten all that I possibly could and also drunk all that I possibly could as well. So my weight loss journey is not as great as it possibly should be. I weighed in on Wednesday last, and I have gained, in fact, I should say, 8.5 pounds. Yes, that's right, 8.5 pounds. Now, not the best, but to be honest, the reason I did it was because I really wanted a holiday which I didn't have to worry about, and I definitely did not worry about anything because I knew that when I came back I would lose that in a good week, maybe a week or two. So that is how I'm doing at the moment. So 8.5 pounds, which is what I have put on, but I will lose it because that is what Cinnamon World does. It really helps. Now, Jackie Baldwin has asked a question. This is an ActiFry question, so anybody who is actually a fan of the show will know that I use an ActiFry quite a lot. So she's asked, how long do you cook jacket potatoes for in an ActiFry? And if you're a regular viewer of the show, you will actually know that I generally tend to leave things in for, well, until they're done. So basically, leave them in the ActiFry until you think they're done, and then just, that's it really, and then just try and make sure you put a fork in them and make sure that they're done, and then that will be fine. If you've got any questions that you've got to ask me or you want to ask me, then please do mention it in the comment section below. I'm going to have a look to see where this is. So I'm going to write something. Hello. There you go. Back onto the questions. Let's have a look. TMR TV. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. But so basically, TMR TV has started Cinnamon World and is not a fan of salad in any way whatsoever. I feel you, unless it's covered in lots and lots of different. Unless it's covered in lots of salad creams and mayo and all that kind of stuff, I'm not a fan of salads. So I did an episode a few weeks ago on a pill which is called Emberry. Now it's supposed to be a miracle pill which you take and it changes the taste of everything, particularly things like salad and oranges, stuff which some people don't actually like but which are good for you, and it makes it a lot more sweet and a lot more delicious. So Emberries could possibly help you with the salad. However, as I did mention in the video, they are relatively expensive. So it's probably not a great idea to buy a lot of those and then stock up on salad, because it is going to cost you a little bit of money. It's probably like going to a pub and ordering a salad for like £13 every time you're going to use it. So probably not the best, but it is something which you could do if you really do hate having salad. So thank you very much. Right, we've got a question. Known Cam has said, how long has it taken you to lose 10 stone? Well, I have lost it in 2 stages. So I lost the original 5 stone probably in around about 6 to 8 months, I would say. Now this is a point where I was not very healthy. I was not very active. I didn't actually have a job at the time when I weighed 26.5 stone, and I lost 5 stone by getting a job, by eating healthier, Drinking lots of water, that's something which I did, and just generally being a little bit more active. Now, I did lose about 5 stone, and then I got a job where I was driving quite a lot, so I was having things like fast food, sandwiches, that kind of thing, and crisps, because obviously I couldn't really make a meal before I went to work because I was just too tired. So I did put on a good couple of stone from that as well. And then I went to Slimming World back in April. Actually, 29th of March I joined Slimming World, and I've lost 5.5 stone since then. I say I have lost 5.5 stone. I have, but I've put 8.5 pounds back on. So I have lost just under 5 stone, I guess, since then. Basically, it is a matter of eating healthier. I haven't been to the gym since I started Slimming World. I've been to the gym maybe once or twice, so it's amazing what you can do when you actually just change the way you eat and change your diet, and that's what I did. What alternatives are there for sweets on Slimming World? Adam Segati has asked. Well, there's not many. There's Slimming World, and recipes out there will actually give you they will give you false hope, shall we say, of how you can make jellied sweets on Slimming World. However, if you ever tried to make them, and I have, they're not the nicest. Well, they taste okay, but they're not really what you'd imagine Haribo to be like, for example. And the only thing which I could suggest for that question is just have sweets, because that's the beauty of Slimming World, and it's the beauty of eating right. If you're eating right throughout the day, then you are able to have sweets as a treat in the evening, and because Slimming World allows you to have your sins, you can use the sins for sweets. I think a little bag of Haribo is 4.5 sins. I had some jelly bellies earlier on today, you know, like little jelly beans, and 5 of those are a sin. So you don't have to get rid of them in your diet, but you've just got to make sure that you're a little bit more sensible with them. Because obviously you don't want to go and eat a massive bag of Haribo, because that's not going to be good for you. So you've got to use your common sense. But things like chocolate sweets, that kind of stuff, you can still have. You just got to have them in small quantities. Floris has asked a question. Hi there, have you ever had any slip days where you didn't follow the plan? Yes, in fact, I had about 2.5 weeks of slip days. No, I always do. I generally tend to, because I think that if you don't have slip days, then you are going to you're going to think that you're in a diet, and you're going to think that you're trapped in something. And the mental mind is, if you think you're trapped in something, you're going to try and get out. So you've got to have slip days every now and again, because otherwise your brain just isn't going to want to carry on with this diet. So it's worth having a slip day. Don't make them too often. I think I've made a video on how to have bad days on Slimming World. Don't have them too often, but you can have them. Just try and make sure that it's not that often. For example, if I've weighed in on my normal weigh-in days are on Wednesday, but I do work in lots of different places, so sometimes I have to swap them. I normally make my slip day after my weigh-in, so I'll come back and maybe I'll have 1 or 2 things which I shouldn't necessarily have. That was until obviously I've just been on a cruise. If you've watched my videos, I've been on a cruise around the Caribbean where I've had all you can eat and all you can drink. So as my slip days go, there was about 2.5 weeks of just constant slip days. So when I weighed in on Wednesday, I've made sure that every single thing I ate was on the Slimming World diet. But I know it'll go, and if you have a slip day, if you just have 6 other days which aren't slip days, you'll be absolutely fine. You just have to adjust those other days so that you have more speed food and more no to low sins on those days. Claire Hanley, how long does it take your body to adjust to more fibre with a high intake of speed foods? That's a personal question, isn't it? Yeah, it takes a while. It still doesn't get used to it. If I have a lot of oranges, for example, my body's not quite adjusted to it. Now I will go through about maybe 4 or 5 oranges a day. It's just something your body gets used to. It's like, for example, I drink this, which is just water, plain water in a water bottle, which you can buy on Amazon. It's just over 2 litres. That is something which your body isn't used to having. So when you actually do have a lot of water, and I suggest that you drink a lot of water, so for example I drink about 4 litres of water a day, then your body will eventually get used to it. It's the same with fibre foods. Let's have a look. Kelly's Kitchen. What is your weakness? Mine is red wine. Mine is red wine, as in Kelly's is red wine. I'm not a fan of red wine. However, I think alcohol. It is probably alcohol. I would say that my weakness is brandy. Yeah, it's probably not the best of weaknesses. My chocolate weakness is gone. I used to be a massive chocolate fan, and actually, in fact, somebody asked a question about this. There you go. Sam Joel asked, when was your first, when you first started Slimming World, how did you break your habits? Well, I just stopped them, basically. I just stopped them, and eventually, after stopping your habits, then you go back on them. So this is why when somebody asked, how long does it take you, do you ever have weekends? There we go. Let's have a little look. Who was it? Yeah, there you go. Floris asked if you had any slip days. Yeah, I do. But the thing is, if you, for example, have this weakness of things like red wine or chocolate and stuff like that, if you have chocolate, then when you actually have a slip day, then you're going to go more into having chocolate, and it kind of reminds you of how good all of those things are. So you've just got to be careful and eat it in moderation. Somebody once said to me that if you have, say, for example, you've got a craving for chocolate, like I like Galaxy chocolate, then you can have 1 or 2 pieces, but then you've got to remember that all of the other pieces are going to taste the same. But yeah, to answer that question, mine is brandy. Rachel, hi, do you need to tone as well? I have 10 stone to lose and worried about flabby bits. Now, yeah, I didn't. So what I would probably suggest to you is if that's what you like doing, if you do like toning, if you do go to the gym, that's great, and it will definitely help. I didn't, because I'm quite busy and I don't really get the opportunity to go to the gym that often. So it's probably something which you should do, but there are other things as well so that you can prepare it. Don't lose the weight so really quickly. If you lose the weight over maybe a year possibly, it will help. It will help tone up skin. Drinking lots of water helps as well, and things like exfoliating your skin and taking baths, that also helps. I've watched loads of videos on kind of strengthening or tightening up skin. So the best thing for you is, if you do like toning, then do it. If not, then lose the weight and then think about the toning afterwards. Let's have a look. Or do you need to tone as well? Right, known Cam again. Well done. It is shocking what you did without going to the gym. Keep it up, mate. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I never went to a gym. I lost pounds in the gym, but just because I didn't cancel my direct debit. I've used that joke before, and I'll use that joke again. MIZ pound 89, very catchy. Does it matter if you miss out healthy extras? No, it doesn't actually. Somebody else asked me a question, which I was going to say about, yeah, this was Denise Reynolds. She said she can't get her head around healthy extras, and the fact that she can eat all of the rice pasta and potato that she wants, but she's confused over the third of your plate being speed foods every meal. I'll be honest, and I'll probably get told off a lot for this, but I didn't actually eat as many speed foods and things like that when I first started, but I still lost the weight. And this obviously also depends on how much you ate before and how much weight you had to lose. So healthy extras is something which I do have, but that's just mainly my healthy extra B, because I have bread quite a lot. Things like milk I don't have, so my healthy extra A's are generally just taken up maybe once or twice a week with cheese. But there is, I personally don't think it makes a difference. Healthy extras are just ways of bringing things that are natural but higher in fat and giving them to you. So I don't think you need to. Yeah, so he's got healthy extra B as in milk. Yeah, that's fine. That's what I generally tend to use. I did a video recently on healthy extras and things, and I use almond milk quite a lot, and I use that now in coffee. Healthy Extra A is milk. Healthy Extra B is your brown, your wholemeal bread and stuff like that. Just to let you know. Claire, you're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome. Louise, do you recommend joining a group? I'm starting my journey, but I have not joined a group yet. Love your channel. Thank you very much, Louise. Yes, I do. Honestly, I really do, because there are things that I learn. I mean, I've been doing it for a while and I do a channel on it and I research it quite a lot, but you do learn a lot by going to group. Genuinely, really you do. And you get to see people who are also going through that journey with you as well. So it gives you that little bit of hope and encouragement. That there are other people who are struggling, or there are other people losing weight as well as you. So I recommend it. And also it's not just the group. So although you go to a group once a week, you've got Facebook groups, you've got you know, your consultant will send you a message every now and again, or a text message. So I definitely recommend going to groups, because it is genuinely something which makes you closer to the experience. Rachel Turner, not a great exercise fan. Oh, don't worry about it then. If you're not a great exercise fan, you will eventually you will want to do more, and you'll find that something which I found is, because I weighed 26.5 stone, my body was used to carrying that much weight around with me. So it actually took my body quite a long time to get used to the fact that it's not carrying that weight. So I would find myself walking really fast because my body's used to carrying all of this weight, and now it doesn't, if that makes sense. So I'd say that you generally are going to get fitter as you lose weight anyway. Let's have a look. April, hi, love your videos. Wondered if you could give me some advice. Yes, April, I can. What is the advice? Let me know. Yeah, so there's a couple of other questions which I've received which I wanted to go through as well. Royal Scribe asked, Miller Lights are not vegetarian. What yogurts are? There's quite a few. What you'd have to do is actually look at the back of the ingredients and find out which ones are vegetarian, and then do a SIN calculator online with Slimming World Group, and then they will give you kind of your calculations of what the SIN value is. But so one of the other subscribers, I can't remember who it was, but they gave a good option, which was just get fat-free Greek yogurt and then add your own fruit and your own flavorings in that as well, because it is actually a good thing to do. Yeah, so like I said to Suzanne, one and only, my weight loss journey is not going brilliantly at the moment, but 8.5 pounds on, which means that I will definitely lose that in the next couple of weeks. And I am going to very shortly go, because I've reached about 20 minutes, so I've got a couple more questions. April, you still haven't asked a question. Right, Kelly's Kitchen. Was anyone else in your house on the plan, as I'm the only slimmer in the house/family? No, in fact, no. I started on my own. However, because the meals that you cook on Slimming World are generally really tasty and really nice, then all of the family will get involved. It's just trying to get the family, if they do need to lose weight, it's trying to get them not to do things when they're out and about, or have sweets and all that kind of stuff. If they're not on the Slimming World kind of diet, it is difficult, because obviously they're going to be having crisps and chocolate and sweets and things like that in the house that could tempt you. But I would probably say, just try and be as good as possible, and try and be as strong and brave as possible, and then hopefully you'll actually get to be stronger over it, and then maybe not like those chocolates and those sweets. But the best thing to do is try and get them on plan with you. Right, April's asked a question. I'm having trouble with my weight loss, staying between a certain stone level, and I have made changes, but it is still this stone level about 8 weeks. Can you help? Right, so what I'm guessing from that is that you've been on the same level now for about 8 weeks, and then you've been on group. Yeah, so sorry, I've just had another one. Yeah, so you've been on the same level for about 8 weeks, and your weight hasn't gone up and it's not gone down. So that's fine. If it's not going up, that's good. If it's not going down, that's great. What I would probably suggest, if you are sticking to plan and it is not going up or down, then what I would probably suggest is maybe doing some body magic. So popping, out, going for a walk, stuff like that, stuff to speed up your metabolism. And if you don't drink about 2 liters or more of water a day, maybe try, and that might be a shock to your system. Try and bring that weight down a little bit. MIZ LB89 is back. Sorry, I got mixed up. Watched all your videos. Your advice is great. Thank you. I've been doing gym/Slimming World for 3 weeks. My weight is the same. Would you recommend any tablets or shakes? If you've been following the Slimming World properly, then you should have lost weight, I'd say, by now, but that might be because before you joined, your diet was actually quite good. There is a tablet which I take. It's like an omega oil. It's called CLA. I have used this ever since I started losing the 10 stone. I think it's great. I think it works personally for me. You can get it in Holland and Barrett. You can also get ones online. I'd probably recommend anything which is 1,000 milligrams or up. It's basically a natural oil which is found in meat. And you can actually use that, and I personally use it and I think it works. But obviously just try it. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe it won't, but I do generally tend to stay away from giving advice on like tablets and stuff like that, but CLA does work for me. And if not, maybe make a food diary. So if you have got some things which you are maybe not knowingly putting in your diet which aren't that great, then maybe write a foods diary. And if you're going to the gym at the same time as doing Slimming World, what you've got to think is that your weight is actually going down and Slimming World is working, but your muscle is also going up. So you're actually going to become heavier because your muscle's going up as well. So think about that. Maybe instead of going by your physical weighing scales, maybe measure biceps and triceps and muscles and stuff. Oh, April, it keeps going up and down, but I cannot go past the certain the stone bracket. Yeah, maybe just try some body magic, April, instead, and then make sure that you do the food diary as well, and make sure you drink water and see if that actually helps. Make sure that you write every single thing down that you eat, and if it's sinned, make sure that you write how many sins it actually is. Claire, I'm feeding my husband and children on Slimming World. It sounds like you got them prisoner, Claire. I'm feeding my husband and my children on Slimming World healthy and low sugar food. Only my girls eat normal food too. Great for everyone. Yeah, that's good. So as long as they're behind you and they obviously see that it's working for you, Claire, and actually, to be honest, it'll probably be something that they will get on board with as well. Laurie loses. Oh, there you go. Hopefully weight, not many. What kept you on track so you don't binge? I'm an awful binge eater. I think it's very difficult if you're going to Slimming World. I think it's difficult if you're losing weight, and for me, because I was 21 and a half stone when I joined Slimming World. I think when you start losing that initial weight and you see that weight go off, I definitely think that that's something which brings your motivation not to binge eat. But now I've kind of got to a point where I'm actually very close to my target. I do binge eat a little bit more. I think it's just a matter of keeping to yourself in your mind that you're doing a good thing, and then there's a classic saying which is nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. I know that's weird, and I'm definitely not skinny, but I agree with that. I think that if you think to yourself, I'm going to eat this bar of chocolate, then that's fair enough, but make sure that you calculate that into your diet if you really want to lose that weight. So I definitely have binge days, and I probably have more binge days than any of you, but what I try and do is I counteract the binge days with super healthy and super green days to kind of keep that balance on going. And there you go, Ellie Ella McDonald says, love your channel. Thank you so much. Now, this is the Sunday weigh-in, so please write all of your comments and stuff like that below, and I do answer all of the comments, whether or not it be on video or if I do it actually physically by responding. So thank you very much. If you've followed me on Instagram, you can do. The link is in the description below, and I'd be more than happy to go through kind of my food day and my diary and all that kind of stuff. I don't generally tend to do it on YouTube, but I am going to be doing a what I eat in a day on YouTube soon. But you can see most of the stuff that I cook, not all of it, but most of it on Instagram. So make sure you check that out and see if there's any more questions. Oh, Ella, sorry, one more from Ella. I'm on week 2 and messed up one evening. Any tips to help with feeling of messing up? Losing 5 pounds, week 1, feel awful as messed up already into the journey. Don't worry about it. Honestly, there's no point in beating yourself up and feeling depressed if you've had something which is not on plan. Absolutely not, because the problem is then you start getting depressed and you start eating more. So the best thing to do is make sure that you know that you've eaten it, so you don't like say to yourself, try and put it out of the back of your mind and say, oh, I never ate that. But make sure you maybe write it down so you know what you've eaten, but just don't worry about it. Just get back onto track as soon as you can, and maybe the next day have a super speed food day, or a super sin-free day, and then you'll forget about it. Don't worry. Trust me. If every time I messed up on Slimming World, I felt depressed, I would probably spend a lot of time feeling depressed. Right, Leanne. Yeah, Leanne. I'm gonna say Lean Leakin. Sounds like a Vikings character. I like it. Started Slimming World on Thursday. Your videos have been a great help. Thanks. Oh, thank you very much. MIZ has said MIZLB189. Yeah, back again. I'm using Fitness Pal as a food diary. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop weighing myself. I feel lighter, if that makes sense. I'm a size 10. It is harder for slimmer people to lose weight. Yeah, so that's exactly it. Whatever you do, do not weigh yourself, because you'll have a habit of weighing yourself every day, every other day. It just really doesn't work and it doesn't help. So don't weigh yourself, because it really doesn't make you feel better. Trust me. So don't weigh yourself. If you feel lighter, you feel healthier, then it's working. But if you are balancing Slimming World and the gym, it's probably just... it could be added water, it could be stuff like you are gaining muscle. So maybe just, I like to have I've got a shirt, it's called The Shirt in the house, and it's basically a shirt which has never fitted me before, and now I can do all the buttons up, but it is pretty tight. So maybe get yourself something like that so you can actually see those buttons get closer and closer together, so you know it's actually working for yourself. But don't weigh yourself, only once a week. Oh, it's Leanne. There you go. So Leanne, thank you very much. Right, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much. Follow me on Instagram if you've got an Instagram account. Make sure that you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Keep the comments coming. I'll make sure that I do answer all of them. And I will be back again on Wednesday for another weigh-in time. Thank you very much, guys. Now I need to figure out how to stop the live feed. Hopefully I will figure it out. Thank you very much, guys. Have an amazing evening. Or if you're watching this on the repeat, morning, afternoon, or whatever. I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.